And
Hey, happy Saturday. Yay. Hello, everyone. Thank you, and welcome to yet another episode of the Influencers Connection Corner. I am thrilled to be here today. It's getting a little warmer because oh my goodness, we've been having some crazy weather here in Texas in the last few weeks. Haven't has it been for you up there in Dallas, ma'am?
it is in the 20s right now, but although they said it's supposed to it's 36 degrees now, but it was in the teens. It got actually it got to 9 degrees in the evenings for us. But yeah, it's supposed to be 50 degrees today. So
Oh,
it's
fantastic.
it's getting hot in here apparently.
Oh my God, no, just a drastic change. So for the first time in a while, like in a long time, we had snow here in Houston, in like a few weeks back. And then this other Arctic blast that just came this week. And it's just like, I'm so over it. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for summer. So please, Texas, bring on this heat. I prefer that over the cold any day. So,
I
mhm.
was gonna say, I'm like, we are heading to 80-degree weather, my friend. So you're gonna get your wish sooner than later.
I know. See, manifesting really works, y'all. So, yes, why is it that we're going to be heading to 80-degree weather, Miss Tia?
Well, are we just gonna talk about it right now? I think we can.
We can, yeah, of course, because
Let
we're so excited about it.
we are so can I just tell you guys, like, look, we're heading over to Checkpoint. Wait. You know me. We're heading to Checkpoint CPX Americas. That's what I say.
Oh my goodness. We've been talking about this for so long, and it's finally going to be here literally in a couple of days, guys. I am so thrilled. So, if you are going to be in the Las Vegas area or you're actually going to the Checkpoint, CPX Americas 2025, please hit us up. Let's get together. Let's meet. Come say hi. We're always, loving just meeting people from our networks. It's very important. And obviously, para mi gente latina también, from my people from Latam. So excited. This is going to be so amazing.
I mean, okay. So anyone, and this is like an totally unsolicited beg. Go check out my post this morning because the amount of giddiness and excitement that we have. Let's talk about it. We just got our media press kit to prepare us for next week, and let me tell you, I looked at this schedule, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are making us work.
Oh, it's actually work. It's not just fun. Just
She's not going to
kidding.
be able to roll the dice here, people. No, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to network. There's going to be a lot of
Hmm.
opportunity to have great conversations. We are scheduled to. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about
Nope.
who we're
Nope.
interviewing,
Don't
but
say it just yet.
I won't ruin it, people. But let's just say we're gonna come out with a ton of content over the course of the week. So if you see us do some impromptu live streams, join us for a few minutes of conversation. We're not doing blown 30 minutes. It will be more like 10 minutes, depending on if we have decent internet access in Vegas. But follow up. We're gonna have some amazing interviews with some incredible thought leadership. A lot of thought leaders, executives at Checkpoint itself. So stay
Hmm.
tuned.
Yeah, and that stay tuned because just like Sia was saying, amazing leadership team members from Checkpoint Software. I mean, I'm so thrilled. So before I get carried away, let's go ahead and run that intro, and then let's welcome our wonderful, amazing guest. Okay, so
Let's
let's
do it.
go.
Welcome to the Influencers Connection Corner.
Hey, and dance, and dance. Jessica, this was not part of, yeah, no, actually, every guest has to do a little dance. Hey. She's like, what did I sign myself up for? Yeah.
PR is going to get a very healthy note after this. I'm kidding.
No, 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 no. But guys, it's we're just super excited. This is going to be an amazing time over there. So please, if you're in the Las Vegas or close to it, check it out. It's an amazing event. I mean, I'm looking forward to so many of the things that are going to happen there while we're there. The event schedule is packed, but it's going to be amazing. So follow our, throughout the week, we're going to go live, as Sia said. And it's just, learning about something that's very important and it's necessary. It's with the future of cybersecurity. And actually, for me, it's the women who are leading it and shaping it. That to me is what really grabbed my attention, because for so long, right, it's industry dominated, male dominated, but we are coming through with force, and I am so thrilled. I am really excited to see so many women come to the forefront and actually championing. So,
Yeah.
hey, Sia, you're one of
Well,
them.
hey, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but someone in this grouping that you see in front of us is going to be on a panel for a women's leadership breakfast.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's a big crowd. This is not your little like 30, 40 women. They've lined up at least 100, over 150, I think, women leaders in the room. So you guys, there's like, when we're saying this is not like, it's a big deal. We're so darn excited. There's gonna be great opportunities for networking. So everyone in the chat that's chatting away, if you do not know each other already, please chat and also share with us where you're dialing in from.
Yes.
Dialing in. What am I, like old grandma?
Come on, Sia, update it. But no, yes, it's true. Shout out to Cindy, Jody, and Tracy. I am honored to be sharing the stage with you on the Women's IT Breakfast. I'm so excited. So many of the wonderful things that we're going to be able to talk about to the women, and just the networking opportunities. They're infinite, massive. So without further ado, I mean, poor Jessica's probably waiting in the backstage and saying, okay, when are these ladies going to stop talking? But she's one of the ones who's organizing this entire event as well, along with Cindy. And so let's go ahead without further ado, bring our guest of honor, Jessica Reece. Welcome to the stage.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey y'all, good morning. A little bit of dance, I think is how we start this out, right?
And Dan.
See, there you go. This is what I love. It's the vibe. It's a Saturday. It's social, but at the same time, we have that industry that we have to talk about. And I know Sia's probably not going to allow me to say tech so much too often during this show, because she's like, Raquel, you can actively convey a point without saying the word.
Tech
right?
all damn day long. I mean, it's ubiquitous. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Jessica, thank you and welcome again. And it's a pleasure to have you here. Just, what I've learned from you throughout these weeks, and just being able to get closer to learning what women are doing in the IT industry. It's amazing. So please let the audience know a little bit about you and just the amazing, literally, position that you hold for the Americas from Checkpoint.
Absolutely. Well, first, thanks so much for having me on. What an exciting thing to wake up to in the morning. So thank you. I'm Jessica Reece. I head up Checkpoint's MSSP for the Americas. And I'm so excited to share about cybersecurity today. You mentioned that we've got the Women in IT Breakfast. This is our second annual, and there's just so much going on. I can't wait.
Yes. So now, for those individuals who are not, well versed in the IT, what does MSSP stand for? And you can explain kind of your function and your role.
Absolutely. So MSSP stands for Managed Security Service Provider, and you can also hear it just coined MSP, Managed Service Provider. So you take out the security component in it. But what it is I work with partners that deliver services to their customers, specifically as it pertains to cybersecurity and keeping their customers safe.
Now, it's interesting because, as I am learning a little bit more and diving into the IT world, into this industry, the titles, or some of them are interchangeable, or is this like something that, it's been set for so long?
I think managed services as a whole has been an industry term for a very long time. MSP and MSSP, same thing. I've been doing it for over a decade, and I think it came that.
Oh my goodness. Well, how did you get into tech? There goes one, Sia. Jessica, how did you get into the industry? I know, right? I'm counting. Somebody keep count.
You know what? Just to hold you accountable, I should have had you had like a shot glass for every time you say, "For God, girl." Okay. Okay, fine. That works too.
I'll do coffee. All right, Jessica Diaz, how did you get into the industry? I'm curious to know, just because I hear so many different stories of unconventional routes, but I also hear of this one track. This is what you have to do in order to get there. But please allow us to learn a little bit more.
Absolutely. And so my background isn't in technology. I actually came up in training through the health and human services, um, kind of field, and focused on actually mental health and chemical dependency was my specialty. And so after a while of doing that, it's such a rewarding field. I mean, so rewarding, but it takes a toll. And I decided when my kids were still pretty young that I needed to step back from that and find something else to do. My family is actually steeped in cybersecurity. Everyone around me is in cybersecurity. So it was an easy thing to decide it probably was the right path to look at. And as kids, when your parents tell you what to do, you do the exact opposite. Okay. And that is exactly what I did.
Oh yeah.
But, right? Everyone
Yep.
does that. But what I found out and what my parents got to, maybe hold over me for a little while is you always come back to it. They're right. Just go with it to begin with. So that was always their kind of focus for me is get into IT, get into cybersecurity. And I ended up coming back around to it.
Oh my goodness. Now, see, your background is out in this industry. So how was your path in getting into it as well? Do you relate to Jessica's story?
Yeah. I would say I'm an opportunist, but yeah, my background, my family, they're all electrical engineers. So I knew in some degree I would be working in technology at some point. But what happened was my path was I was an IT recruiter. And then I started working for a cybersecurity company, a really small company that I just laugh because it's called Sonic Wall. For those that are in the industry, you guys know who we are. And then I got recruited into HP, so I kind of moved on after that. But yeah, it wasn't like I wasn't told to go into cybersecurity, but I knew just from the background of my family in technology that it's just a great industry to be in, and it's not going away. I mean, talk about job security, kids. I keep telling all my nieces and nephews, but they don't listen to me. So yeah.
I mean, and the reason why I ask those questions, ladies, is because I always love to learn, the path that took you there. Because so many of us, for example, my background's in healthcare, and healthcare and technology do go hand in hand. And a lot of people sometimes don't see the path. But what I've learned throughout, this massive just industry, how the advances and innovations that are coming, literally popping up from everywhere, it's that there really is not one track. That actually what is really pouring into and infusing all this innovation is the diverse backgrounds that people hold, whether it's their first career they're coming from, their second career they're coming from. And not only that, but how old is too old to say you can go into tech? That's another question that begs, a discussion. So
Never
for
too
you,
old.
Never.
please
That's right.
enlighten us when you say that. And I'm assuming the team, you see all sorts of ages and backgrounds.
Absolutely. I have a seasoned team, and I'll speak to the team. I actually just took a new role. So I'll speak to my team that I was on. They were all very seasoned, and many of them came from non-cybersecurity backgrounds as well. But as a leader, when you're looking to hire for a functional team that's going to execute, backgrounds don't matter. It's the person. You're looking for a specific person with specific skills. You can teach them anything, right? Cybersecurity is something that you can learn. Being a hard worker, being motivated, a self-starter, those are all qualities that a person has or doesn't have. And especially once they get into adulthood, it's either something that's ingrained in them or maybe they're not so interested.
And I love that, because it's funny enough, I have my daughter is in the audience right now and she's watching the show, and she's 11 years old, so it's thinking that she loves STEM, she loves everything that is surrounding mathematics and science, and it's beautiful for me, for her to see that there's not a one path. There are unconventional ways that you can be able to merge what you love to do and the passions, but also have a career or make a career out of it. So shout out to you, lovely, my Jocelyn, my gem. She's on here,
Yeah.
so she wanted to say hi.
I shared her comment below, but I do want to reinforce, you guys, the idea for those that are looking to come into cybersecurity or technology in general. There is not just one role. right? There is a whole plethora of positions out there. It's not just programming, okay? It's not just coding, it's not just being, red team, blue team, purple, right? Like there's all sorts of different areas. And so where Jessica, like where you and I are at, right? We're in sales, right? And then even in sales, there are subsets of sales that you could do within technology and still be considered a technology person, right? And again, I'm pulling a Raquel here, technology person, but there is such great opportunity, everyone, and it is like the what's that saying? The oyster shell oyster is your oyster, world is your oyster.
The world is your oyster. I think that's what it says.
There we go.
She got it. Okay.
Did you see the fumes coming out of my ears there?
But you bring a very good point, Sia. It's that, a lot of individuals really, at the end of the day, they don't really know, the masses, what cybersecurity is, or what all this technology is, or what technology is. And without knowing that, really, that is embedded within everything that we do in every single day, and then in every single industry. So for example, like as I say, my daughter's in the audience. So how would you explain what cybersecurity is to an 11-year-old?
Absolutely. So when we think about kids, for them, it's about being safe online, or staying safe online is what they probably hear a lot from their schools and different things that are marketed directly towards them, right? What does staying safe online actually mean, though? It means protecting your computer. It means protecting the network that your computer is connecting to, but also connecting the data that sits on your computer, that you're sharing out on your socials and storing on your desktop and laptop. These are all things. Cybersecurity is in place to keep these kind of things safe, because just like there's bad people in the real world, there's bad people out there and bad actors in the digital world too.
And that's a beautiful thing, just to explain like that, because again, it explains it to the masses as well, that we have to do our due diligence and really protect ourselves, protect not only just the computer, but what we do on our phones. Phones are a little computer, as I like to call it. We're hauling around, guys, a little computer with us everywhere we go. And so we must really equip ourselves and inform ourselves with the right tools to make decisions that do not compromise our security, however you define security, right? But I just think it's very important that that is embedded within schools. Now, have you seen a lot of schools, or in the school system, is there policies in place to teach kids these ideas?
I think some schools have adopted programs that teach cybersecurity and cyber awareness. There's vendors like Checkpoint and other vendors in the industry as well that have initiatives. Specifically, October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So during October, you'll see a lot of tech people, cybersecurity people going into the schools, going into even their neighborhoods and communities, and trying to train up or bring awareness to the most vulnerable. And we're talking about kids right now, but let's remember that the most vulnerable are not only our children, it's our aging as well. So keep that in mind, that if you have parents, if you have grandparents, or people that are older than you, whatever that looks like, they may need a little extra reminder on how to be cyber safe too.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Go ahead, Sia.
No, okay, I'm smiling, but I'm not really smiling. I hate to say it, but every older adult that I know has been scammed.
Yeah.
Yep.
They've been scammed. And I don't even want to tell you how much money dollars they got scammed with. And we're, my partner and I are cybersecurity peoples, and we've told them repeatedly for the last 20 odd years, don't do things. And yet they still do it, because human nature is human nature. And these guys, no matter how good the technology is, they will always exploit the human.
Because they play into the emotions of that human, and they've developed, and I say they, but these are our artists, actors that really are just doing those bad things, and they know how to prey on individuals who will be very gullible. I know I've had to, in the past, emails that, phishing or scams or anything like that, I've had to be very careful. I'm like, how do they have this information? How do they know this about me? And so that is where it really gives me key and cues. Oh, Raquel, you need to watch what you say or watch what you put out there, because they'll grab that and just use it against you to harm you in that sense. But yes, me working in the healthcare industry and being in the home health field, I've seen how many seniors, the elderly, are so vulnerable, as you mentioned, Jessica. And so what, as a society and as a community, what else can we do in order to be able to help them not fall prey to those things?
Yeah, cyber awareness, right? And that is making sure that you're having conversations about it. We may not think about reminding our parents that when you get that text message that says you have a UPS package waiting for you, but you have to confirm your information and your credit card to deliver. If it sounds like it might not, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. But when we think about how far technology has come, we have to remember that that same technology is on the bad side as well. And with technologies now like AI, there's been a scam around for years. The Nigerian prince, you get the
Oh my
email, right?
God.
Okay. Now, a decade ago, it was very easy to pick it out. Grammatically, it was incorrect. The English
Yes.
was not flowing as we would expect it to flow. Now with AI, grammar is pretty spot on. Do you know that in 2023, I believe we were sitting at right around $80 million still that was scammed from the Nigerian prince, whoever those bad actors are.
Oh,
That
Oh my
email is
God.
still out there and still trapping people today. So
Oh
when
my
we think
gosh.
about the idea of, I don't really need to mention it,
Mhm.
no, sit down, have a cup of coffee. Hey, have you seen emails like this? You can go to different websites and pull down examples that you can show them. Hey, if you see something like this and you're not sure, ask me, right?
Mhm.
Direct them to come to you. It's better that they ask and you say, no, that's okay, than they don't ask and they get scammed.
Oh my gosh, $80 million. Gosh, that hurt me. That hurt
Yeah.
me so much. But and then we go, yes, we talk about the finances, how it hit the finances and then hurt people's wallets. But then about security for themselves. I think of all the impersonators online, social media, how it's become very rampant, and these pedophiles preying on children and stuff like that. All of that, it comes to my, as a mom, right? I think about all these things, but even so, as a community, as a woman, I still have to look out for these things too, for myself, not only for my kids. And it's very important. Now, how are there groups that women can join to get more information about this, that either through Checkpoint or through other entities that you can share?
Absolutely. And I think LinkedIn has a lot of different women specific groups around cyber awareness. The National Cybersecurity Alliance is a fantastic organization that spends a lot of time doing outreach and enablement of cyber awareness to, again, the younger and the older communities. However, doesn't mean that the middle can't use it too. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I really like them and what they put out.
Okay, and now, guys, thank you so much for sharing that. And guys, in the comments and in the audience, please let us know as well if you know of any resource or any community or group that we can all share. The more, the better, right? The idea is for us to be secured in every aspect of the word. But again, one of the items or one of the things, the concepts that really drew me to you, Jessica, is the fact of how you've championed for women in IT. And I'd love to hear a little bit more about how, you went into that with your background, right? Going into IT, but what is it that you saw that there was a need for, or what inspired you to champion for us in IT?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity over the years to mentor a lot of women that are thinking about getting in the industry, peers, women that I've even just run across at different events that we've been at, right? When you take a moment to step aside with someone and have a conversation, a mentor um, uh, conversation doesn't have to be a long-term thing. You can mentor or pour into somebody in just a 5-minute conversation over coffee. And so what I consistently was hearing was, I feel like I'm being passed up. I don't know what options I have. I'm not sure who I can talk to, who I can ask, where I go from here. And it was very apparent that we're at a point now, I think the opportunities are out there, but now we need to empower women to go get those opportunities, to put their name into the hat, to start having conversations with the people that they work with. So people know, I want to move up. I want to get into tech. I'm going to botch these statistics, so I'm not going to throw out numbers, but when it comes to a job application, women only apply for jobs that maybe you guys have talked to this. Okay, maybe you have the numbers. We have to, we match 95% of the criteria, whereas a man would go for a role where he has if he even like sounds like it'd be something he'd be good at. And so we as women need to start overcoming these. And the best way we do that is we continually empower each other to say, go for it, try it. That's how we're going to continue to succeed.
Oh my God.
You nailed it.
Yeah, I know you have a lot to say. Go.
No, I don't mind saying it. So when I was at my previous employer, I was at the time an inside sales manager, and we ended up expanding. We added 20 headcount to the inside sales team, and the director of sales got promoted. Congratulations to that individual. But then it just left me alone as a manager. And by the way, I just gotten the role like 3 weeks before. So talk about like no training and hiring 20 people. And I wrote the job description, and I was so disheartened. I had, I think for the first go around, it was like 100 resumes. 2 were women. And I was talking to my HR person. I was like, "What the heck, man? Like, what's going on here?" He goes, "Well, let's look at how you wrote the job." And it was it was eye-opening. I wrote it because this is what your job responsibilities are. This is what you'll be doing, right? And he goes, "Well," and this is like my 101, which is so funny. When you're in sales, you're thinking of sales and like how to maximize value to your client. But when you're recruiting for employees, it's salespeople. So apparently I was marketing the job as, not sushi, the most delectable way to eat Japanese food and enjoy the 5 senses. It was cold dead fish. So I wrote my resume as a cold dead fish, the list. And just when you said it, Jessica, women will check mark. Oh, I don't have this. I don't have that. And I'm like, everyone, that resume. And I know Felipe Cofino, I know you're VP of HR. Those are wish lists. Whenever any company puts out that checklist, that's our like ideal unicorn eye in the sky kind of thing, pie in the sky. Well, I cannot say idioms today, but like I'm thinking of Vegas, eye in the sky. Anyway, but that's a whole thing with women. I think I would like to think, ladies, that there is more awareness. I think as the recent subsequent generations have come up, I would like to think that we've made some level of traction and movement. Do you think, are you seeing it, Jessica? Because I bounced out of corporate 7 years ago, so maybe I'm a little out of touch.
No, I'm absolutely seeing it. But again, it just comes down to the awareness. Do the other women know? Right? We need to continue to advocate for ourselves and for the women around us, and then train up and empower the younger generations coming in as well. We don't know if the paths that they're taking, whatever path they're going down, they're being empowered. So we need to assume they're not, and then over empower them if that's what it comes to.
I like that, advocating. I'm a huge fan of that word, just because it has different meanings and connotations for folks. But for me, I know that that's been one of the cementing words in my life that has helped me, because not only am I advocating for myself, but I'm also having the courage to advocate for others and groups and communities as a unity. And so seeing women come together and talk about the frustrations, or just rally around one another and say, okay, what are we going to do about it? Well, we continue talking. That's what we do. We continue talking and sharing the message, so that there can be changes moving forward, so that those in the future generations will have a better chance at, having a thriving career in this industry. And having, speaking about just having a career in industry, I know you came in 2010. So what have you seen, changes when it comes from a leadership standpoint in this industry? I could say in technology, cybersecurity.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that we've seen, I think, is just the continued innovation of the tech itself. Right now, we've got generative AI that everybody uses. If you're not using AI for something, you're behind the ball at this point. And to think that ChatGPT, I think we're just looking at over 2 years that it was introduced to the major population and how quickly it's transformed what we're doing. So I would say we're not doing things differently. We're doing them at a accelerated pace because of the tech that we're using and protecting through cybersecurity that's helping us be more efficient.
And you know what? It's interesting that you're bringing this up because yes, we know that generative AI, it's very important. It's crucial to how people are using it, and obviously, if it streamlines and helps for their businesses, great in their lives. But they're talking about let's talk about facts. So there's some statistics according to Skillsoft Women, and I'm not going to butcher this. It says Skillsoft Women in Tech report 2024 says 60% of women reported not yet using AI at work. But among those 40% who are using it, 73% found increased productivity and 19% experience more streamlined work processes. So again, it really speaks to the supplemental abilities of helping women actually continue being, there in the industry. So for me, that's very important. But people have such a negative connotation towards AI, though.
Yeah, I think it's important to remember that anytime you're interacting with the AI itself, it's taking the data you're giving it and it's learning as well. So you want to make sure that as you're using AI in your day to day, you are following your corporate guidelines that they have in place to keep the data secure as well. Once you put the information out there, whether it's in Chat GPT or Copilot or whatever AI model you're using, it's out there. Same with, just because you can post it to Facebook doesn't mean you should. Same thing. Just because AI can help you doesn't mean you should be putting that data out there. Some things need to stay private. So follow your corporate policies there. The fact that 60% of women are still not using AI, I think there's a free AI training coming soon here is what it sounds like, because
Yep.
it's such an easy tool once you dip your feet into it, but you have to know where to start. And that may be what's holding people back. I don't know.
Well, my philosophy is hey, AI is a tool. Like
Right.
any other technology, it's a tool. In fact, I'm going to shout out Corey Warfield. He made a post this morning on LinkedIn, and it was an image from 1900s of a video on the street, and you saw all these kids kind of like looking at the camera going like, what is this? What is this? It's a moving camera. What? And to me, it's a reflection of humanity. Humans will always be humans. The technology, yes, it will evolve, but our behavior is pretty damn consistent. And so overcoming that fear and stigma of what AI is. Okay, first off, get rid of the notion that it's Skynet. That's a different component of a use case of AI, but at its core, it's automation, right? And it's helping to compile massive amounts of data in a way where we can digest it as humans and then leverage the use case accordingly. That's ultimately what it is. And I know that probably wasn't the easiest descriptor of it, but we are what we make of it. And I think that's the idea of technology. I think we are at the stage right now that technology is palatable because it's hit that tipping point where it's so ubiquitous. Even my 80-year-old mother is like, on the phone all the time. And then I think that's where, did I say 80? My mom's going to be 90 this year, you guys.
Oh, my goodness.
At any rate. So even a 90-year-old, okay, is on in leveraging technology. So I think we need to really get away from, I'm afraid of technology, to, how else can I use it? How else can I maximize it? That's reframe.
Yeah, I think people forget that on a day-to-day basis, we are all interacting with some sort of AI. Who's got Amazon or Alexa sitting in their kitchen right now that reads them recipes and tells them what the weather is going to be like today? That's leveraging AI. I mean, let's go way back. Who used Clippy? You guys remember Clippy?
Oh my God,
Right?
yay!
What was
I miss Clippy.
If we think about conceptually what Clippy was, it was a very basic AI that we interacted with that was helping us. And so, although this generative AI brought to the masses as a newer thing, we've all been doing AI for a long time. If we can demystify the fact that it's new, and so we should let it, take its course before we jump in. No, it's been around. Jump in, jump in. At Checkpoint, we've used AI for over a decade in what we do and how we protect the world from these cyber threats. And so we're not the only ones that have been doing it. And in our day-to-day lives, your kids are using it. You're using it on your phone, in your kitchen. It's time to dive in.
I love the fact that you said demystify. That is new. That is something new because it's been here for a while. And I loved Clippy. I remember using it. But one of the aspects that I loved about that is because it was interactive. So I felt like I was actually having a conversation or, interacting with it. But even though it's a thing, that is not even a human. But my concern and what I've heard is, how do we continue making it a little bit more human? How do we continue having that connection? Because if it loses that connection from me, then I may not want it. And that's a lot of people think that way.
Yeah, and a lot of people take it to the next step, right? Where if we really embrace AI, it's going to take over everything. But there's always the human element. It will always be there. AI is never going to be able to take away that human connection that we have. There was a LinkedIn post, Dorit Dorr, our CTO here at Checkpoint. Somebody asked her, what's the difference between AI and a human? And I watched it so many times because it just made me chuckle. AI can't give you a hug at the very basic level, right? There's different components of the human nature that AI will never be able to replicate. And we have to remember AI, like Sia said, it's a tool. It's not replacing anything. It's enhancing our lives.
I just did I'm so dropping names here. So Technophile Real Talk is another show that Checkpoint sponsors. Thank you. And we just did The Matrix a few weeks ago. And the thing about when you think about AI and you think about this all-knowing, all-being, just remember, you guys, it's code. At its root. It's freaking zeros and ones that someone sat down and went, and that's my version of coding because I'm not a coder. But it's, if we as a society give some level of indictment against AI, to me, it's more of a reflection of our society that our coder would inject some malicious intent, bias. And we all know, guys, we're humans. Again, this is our power, our strength, and our fallibility, right? Is the fact that we're humans. And so there might be some biases coded in there, whether it's subconsciously or consciously, maliciously or not maliciously. But the bottom line is if we are anti-AI, then perhaps we should be looking at ourselves and flipping that mirror to say, okay, society, humanity, why is it that you're so afraid of something that is literally a reflection of us? And I just went a little deep and philosophical there, but that's really the truth of the matter, right? So we all ideally would like to think we're good-natured peoples, but this is where companies like Checkpoint come into play to say, okay, you're good. Technology is going to happen, but you need to have something on your team. You need someone on your side that is way more intentional, smarter than, the average bear. And quite frankly, for the consumer, we don't care. We just want it to work. We just want you to protect us. Right. And so, I mean, Jessica, do you ever run into challenges, even from a B2B perspective? Are you still seeing resistance? So as an MSSP, right? You still got to battle it out with businesses to say, hey guys, if you're going to outsource your, security to us, here's what it's going to require. Do you guys still see that battle of some companies going no one's going to attack me. I'm just a dental office. How do you guys combat that?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we think of the MSP and MSSP community, the majority of the business we see through them is helping out those small businesses, the small to mid enterprises that don't have the ability to take on the IT component of their business themselves. So they're leveraging the MSP relationships to deliver that and the security that goes with it. And there's this component of, why would someone want my data? Why would someone hack my system? I'm not their target. But what we need to realize is everyone is the target. Unfortunately, there's staggeringly sad statistics about small businesses over the years that have been hit with ransomware, which, phishing through email and ransomware is still just, it will never become a not hot way for bad actors to get in and take advantage of someone in the cybersecurity space. And these statistics are, these smaller businesses, they many times can't sustain themselves through a cyber loss when they have no protection in place. It's catastrophic to their livelihoods and their business. So the conversation is, everyone is a target, right? And we're talking B2B, but your children are targets. You are a target. The small business down the street, the enterprise box store down the street, everyone is a target because it's the data they're going after. I have the same kind of data at a smaller scale in my personal home as an enterprise or small business would, sitting on their computers in their office. And so it sometimes you just can't convince them that really they are in need. When it comes to email, because of the statistics we have, email is a great place for people where that email is something they interact with all the time. That's a really good place to start the conversation of, you're getting phishing emails, you're getting ransomware emails. Like, these things are happening, and people, it's more tangible, I think, to people to help them start that conversation.
I mean, Jessica, I think you've pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything you just noted. I hope you guys are taking notes, because I know I am. Trying to pay attention as well. But for me, it's very important. We've been experiencing all of these things now with more threats, and we get more innovations, and then more threats and more innovations to combat that. Where do you see, the role of cybersecurity moving towards in the next decade or so?
I think as tech continues to get smarter, we need to continue to stay just one step ahead. And so as AI, I don't think AI is going away. I think it's only going to continue to propagate not only the good, bless you, but the bad as well.
Thank you.
And so it's us taking advantage and using AI in the right way, where the hackers and the bad threat actors are using it as well. So just staying at that intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and really taking advantage of the different language models we have out there to help us do what we're doing better and faster.
Better and faster. I think we like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, so, I'd like to add to that is I see cybersecurity, the CISO role, CISO, I call it CISO peoples. The CISO role is, I think, going to be much more elevated and have a seat at the boardroom. I think cybersecurity has been kind of punted off to the side a little bit. And I'm not knocking my friends that are CIOs and CTOs and whatnot, but I do feel very strongly it is its own role, because every company is a technology company now, because of the pervasiveness of needing software applications, whether it's going to be native or in the cloud. You're vulnerable. If you have an IP address, you're vulnerable. Right. And I believe the role of the CISO really should have a seat at that C level, because one incident, like you said, Jessica, can kill an SMB. One incident can really kill an enterprise company, right? Let's not even go down the examples, because I definitely don't want to go down that path, because it's mind-blowing. But that is where I think I see cybersecurity in the future, is having a seat at the table at the C-suite. And how much more lovely would it be if there was a woman there, right? Or any other minority that's not in the traditional descriptor of a cybersecurity professional is. The difference of perspective, I think, cannot be spoken about. Like, the ability for us to think outside the box, because you have to in cybersecurity, because that's what all the bad actors are doing. They're thinking outside the box to figure out a new way. I think of like bad actors threat actors are, you guys. They're kind of like a 5-year-old poking you, saying why. I feel like threat actors are doing the equivalent of, is there a hole here, hole there, here, what, new code? Oh, there's been an update. Hello. That's what I kind of feel the equivalent of. And that's why the CISO role is so critical and outside the box thinking. And women can do that. Okay. I'm off my soapbox.
Absolutely they can. And we still have run into some enterprises where the network infrastructure of their environment is still removed from cybersecurity.
Oh, right? My God.
It happens. And you're right, that the CISO can kind of overlay everything and pull everything together. And it would be sweet for more women to be elevated into that kind of role.
We're going to make it happen.
I know. We can do it, ladies. We can. And so, Sia brings an important, for me, because as a mom, right, as a woman and as a mom, I know what it takes to, just carry a household. But for you, you mentioned you have little ones as well. So how do you really balance a lively, household and being in a dynamic role such as leader in cybersecurity?
Yeah, anyone who has, we've got colleagues that live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and any of them that have stopped by my house for one reason or another, they always walk away. They're like, I don't know what I just walked into, but how are you working through all of this? And I think there's, people want to talk about the balance. There's no balance. It's a balancing game. You will never hit balance. That's never what I'm striving for. I'm striving for first, you always prioritize family. So if there's anything going on for family, that's first. Outside of that, it's what needs my attention right now. That's it. Because sometimes it is a little more heavy on the work side. Sometimes it's a little bit more on the, chaos at home and taking care of the kids and the dogs and the husband and fill in the blanks with whatever, the mailman. Sometimes he needs things too, right? Like, he needs help. He comes to the door. He interrupts, meetings. I mean, that's a thing. And it's being okay with saying, I need to just step back for a moment. I've got to go pivot and take care of something else. And we need to be unapologetic about it. This is something I'm working on. Instead of saying, sorry, I need to step away, it's, can you just excuse me for a moment? I don't need to apologize for what I'm doing. I just need to let people around me know what's happening. Communication is key in all of it.
Oh my God. Jessica, where were you a few years ago when I was going through this? Do you know how many times? So I have a 6-year-old now, right? But I've sat here in this show or in on a Zoom call, and I've caught chopped all sorts of different vegetables off the side of the screen. And I'm just like, in fear that people are going to notice, well, what is she doing? I've cut tomatoes, apples, cucumbers, all sorts of things. And because at that point, she was 3. Obviously, she wouldn't understand. And I had other people be so judgmental. We're like, oh, I guess your kids are not disciplined. I'm like, what? You just be quiet and hush. Once you walk in my shoes, then you can talk.
That totally reminds me of, do you remember that BBC guy that got interviewed? He was out in South Korea, I think it was, and it was live, and his children come zooming into the background, and he's like pushing the kid away. Well, they did a parody of that, right? I think we've mentioned it before. Like, they did a parody of it where it's a woman doing the interview, but they're literally like, she brings in a full roast turkey and she's like basting it while doing the interview. And then she's like folding laundry while doing the interview. It is so like cleaning the toilet. It was hilarious. Oh man. But it's so true. It is, I think not to mention it, I think does a disservice of there is something extra that women do when they're career professionals, especially in leadership, and they balance their family and life, right? So now I'm not trying to diminish the role of a male partner or someone else in that role or whatever, but there's something about women maternal instincts. It's just human nature. And it's just it just is, it's not a special thing. We're not giving you applause because, oh, yay, congratulations, you have, a maternal instinct. Like, it's nothing of that nature, but it's simply, but because of your maternal nature, you're going to have a lot of things on your plate. And I don't think that's a weakness. I think that's a strength. The ability of these women in executive leadership that have the ability to juggle, to me, that's a superpower. I want you on my team. I want you as part of my decision-making process. So that's
because we handle it all, and I think that is one of the less noted, right, attributes as a woman. We know how to multitask. We know how to juggle 10,000 things in the air at the same time and still be able to complete all the tasks. So I know, with my team, I'm like, yes, women, come on, ladies, we got this. But for me, looking back when I was younger, networking was always very important. Mentorship. I didn't have a mentor, and so I'm happy that you're doing that now. Is there a community where women can find a mentor, a mentor who is in the tech world that you can point them to? Because I know there's a couple here.
Yeah, I belong to the Women of the Channel, which is a organization that is women specifically focused on channel in the workplace, in their roles. That is a phenomenal, it's a phenomenal group of women. There's a lot of mentorship and mentee opportunities. Also, there's, no matter what kind of city, community you live in, there's going to be local women's groups. It's a matter of, you could go to like Eventbrite and type in Dallas women, and a whole bunch of events will come up. I host one, it's called the Dallas Cyber Ladies, and we meet quarterly, and we eat really good food and drink a little bit of wine and talk about something that's very relevant in the cybersecurity space or being in IT as a woman. It changes, and we've been doing it for about 3 years now, and people come and go as they can, but it's just a small community in a broader metroplex. And I'm not the only one. I know of probably 4 others that do the same thing right in the Dallas area. And again, they post theirs on Eventbrite. I don't. Maybe I'll get there someday.
Yeah.
But you can go out and search for those things. So I would say a quick Google search. Thankfully, Google or AI. Ask AI. Ask your favorite AI. Hey, I would like to participate in a women's community in my area or virtual. What are the top 3? And I bet you get some great responses back.
I'd add LinkedIn, guys. You go to LinkedIn too. Right. There's tons of people on LinkedIn for sure. And by the way, Jessica, I would like an invite for the next one, please.
Absolutely. I was thinking about that as soon as we joined. I'm like, man, you're dealing through this weather. You deserve to come too.
Yes. And I was going to say, because all of y'all like really close to one another. And I'm like, okay, I need to start really looking in Houston as well. If not, I might have to drive to Dallas soon.
No, Houston's got a ton too. Oh my gosh. Houston, Austin, and Dallas really have vibrant women in leadership communities. And then the subset of like technology and cybersecurity, a little bit more niche, but it's vibrant, you guys. It is, Raquel, you would love it. Raquel!
Oh my God, sorry, where has time gone? I just literally glanced at the clock and I was like, oh my God, Jessica, we have like 5 more minutes. Again, we could go hours talking about this topic. But before we go, before we leave the audience, what is, like, if you could go back to your younger self or to possibly the one at 2010, what is one career hack that you would have and that you could share with the audience?
I think the biggest career hack is just believing in yourself. Just being okay with exactly who you are and what you're able to do. So I don't have that skill. You have to take a moment and think, do I want to get that skill or am I okay not having it? But that's a decision that you're going to consciously make. And then you need to be okay with that decision. I've made some of those decisions over the last 15 years or so. Do I want to become a golfer? I can golf. Do I want to golf so I can go golf with people? I decided, nope, I don't want to be a golfer. I can hit a ball at Topgolf, but you're not going to see me on a 9-hole or an 18-hole. Why? I would rather this is kind of that balance. I would rather spend the time with my children than taking golfing lessons, for instance. Another very simple one is I love having really nice nails, right? And there was a point in my career where I looked around the room and there was nobody else with fancy nails, fun colors, designs. And I had to make a conscious decision of, do I want to keep doing this because I love it? Or do I want to kind of tone it down so I blend in a little bit with the boardroom at that time? And it was not a lot of women, right? I decided I love my nails. I was not willing to give them up. Okay. So sometimes I come and it's beach season and I got bright yellow sunshine nails and I am unapologetic about it. And so be
I
okay
love
with
it.
who you are.
Oh, I love the whole vibe, Jessica. Thank you. Thank you for, standing for yourself and standing up for just being you as a human, who you are, and honoring yourself, right? Even though it may come across as different or unconventional, hey, there's beauty, so much beauty to explore in being different.
That's right.
Well, okay, look, kids, this is cybersecurity we're talking about, right? We're already different in general. Like, seriously, the brain functioning to do cybersecurity is we're probably already, probably independent thinkers anyway. Again, nature of the business, you have to think outside the box. So typically it will attract independent thinkers. But that doesn't necessarily mean you can't if you're not naturally inclined to do so. Like you said, Jessica, be intentional if it's something you want to learn, right? Because everyone has the ability to learn, but not everyone has the same desires to learn. That's a big difference between the two, right? So, man alive, girl, I can't wait to meet you this week. Oh my God.
I know. A fun fact of yours, you love sharks, so you are a shark enthusiast. When I read that, I was just like, oh my gosh, what element about sharks that made you fall in love with them? Can you attribute to like leadership? Like, are you like a shark when it comes to leadership or how you lead?
Okay, I'm never going to pass up a good shark attack analogy. You can ask everybody, like I use this all the time, but when it comes to leadership, it's the same thing. So when we think about leaders, sometimes you have to try things and try again and again until you get it right or you decide it's something you like. So a shark, when we think about a shark attack, first they're just swimming by, kind of checking out the scene. The next time they may come in and bump, right? So maybe you try something on a team call. So you're bumping into that idea and, it kind of was good. So you'll make another pass around and next time you just go in and devour. So that's the analogy of a shark attack.
I love that. I love that. And I have mad respects for the sea and big bodies of water. So, and wildlife and sharks. Yes, I have respect for them. But I love the way you definitely, assimilate the two. I think that sometimes we can be, we have to have that mentality. So I really love that. For last fun question, then we gotta go. Coffee or tea?
Oh, espresso. Double.
Oh, girl, she said, okay, let's go.
Let me double down on that. That's right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm a big coffee drinker.
Yeah.
I try tea and maybe only when I'm sick.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love tea sick. Like something about tea when you're sick though feels cleaner for some odd reason. It's like, I think it's less heavy.
That's right. But still that warmth that it brings.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay, Jessica. Well, how can people reach out to you or reach you or find you? That they have more information and resources and what you do at Checkpoint. How can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So LinkedIn is my favorite. I love LinkedIn. So you can find me, Jessica Reece, Reece. Feel free to connect, and I'd love to continue the conversation.
What are you looking forward to most next week for the conference?
Oh, CPX season is my favorite. Like your energy when you started out, I'm like, y'all feel me. I love CPX. It's an opportunity to get with not only my peers that I haven't seen in so long, but to get in front of our partners and customers en masse. So I love it's chaotic at home. I love noise, right? And Las Vegas brings it from all different directions. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing all my people, meeting new people, and of course, meeting you guys too.
Oh my goodness. Well, guys, one last time, we will be in Vegas next week for CPX 2025 Americas. So I'm so eager to see everyone from LATAM join us, speaking el español with all the executives and interviewing all the wonderful folks that we're going to interview. You guys, we are thrilled and such an opportunity to actually get to know what's going on in the cybersecurity world. And so please check it out. Check it out. Go see if you're going to go to Vegas, if you're going to be there, come say hi. We always love meeting people, especially putting, that handshake to people in our network that we haven't met we've only met virtually. But I'm super excited. Checkpoint Software, again, thank you for this amazing opportunity. Thank you for sponsoring the Influencers Connection Corner and just having amazing folks like Jessica who are really, really championing for not only just for women, but for humanity. And so I leave you guys with that. Are there any party golden nuggets that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, buy Checkpoint. They paid.
Yes.
They spent a lot of money with us, kids. Buy Checkpoint.
I can't say that better.
Yes, they're like this.
Safe. That's
oh
right.
My goodness. Yes, I love that. Miss Sia.
All righty. Well, guys, thank you so very much. And I guess, would you like to mention our other sponsor?
Absolutely. And a huge shout out to our other sponsor, Tauzy Brands, Janice Shokrian. We love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will be traveling with mine. So yeah, I don't know about you, but I will.
Well, hell yeah. I got a layover. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm bringing my towels. Are you kidding me?
Yes, I know, right? But anyhow, guys, so check this out, and we'll see you guys on the next show with another amazing guest. But please, please, please keep following us all next week as we will be going live with many updates from CPX 2025 Americas. All right. All right, guys. Thank y'all. Have a wonderful week.
Falling asleep with your neck in the wrong position can be a real pain in the neck. Literally. People of all ages are falling for Tossie. Tossie gives you the comfort you've always dreamed of. Go to TossieBrands.com and get your comfort on.
Thank you for joining. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe and follow us for the next episode.